So I, 24M, work in marketing at a mid-sized company. About 6 months ago, we got a new hire, Evan, 28M. Super confident, super smooth. The kind of guy who says, circle back, unironically. At first, I didn't think much of him. But after a few projects together, I started noticing something weird. Ideas I'd mentioned casually in brainstorming meetings, he'd repeat them 5 minutes later, slightly reworded. Slides I'd build, he'd polish them and then present like he created the entire thing. Once or twice, fine. Whatever. But then it became consistent. The breaking point was when our manager praised him for a campaign concept that I had literally drafted start to finish. Evan smiled and said, "Yeah, I stayed up late working through that one." I stared at him. Stayed up late. Dude left at 4:30. That night I was mad. But instead of confronting him, I decided to test something. A few weeks later, we were assigned a big pitch for a potential client. Huge deal. The kind that gets you promoted. I told Evan I had a rough direction for the concept and shared a draft deck with him. It looked polished. It was also intentionally flawed. The data I used was real, but slightly outdated. The strategy sounded impressive, but didn't actually align with the client's current market. Nothing obvious, just enough that someone who actually researched the account would catch it. I told him I wasn't totally confident yet and wanted to refine it before presenting. Guess who volunteered to take lead on the pitch meeting? Yep. Presentation day comes. I sit quietly. Evan walks through the deck like it's his magnum opus. About 10 minutes in, one of the executives from the client interrupts. Just to clarify, these numbers are from last year. We've pivoted significantly since then. Evan freezes. He tries to pivot, tries to improvise. But then another executive points out that the proposed strategy doesn't match their current brand direction. It gets awkward fast. Our manager looks confused, then slowly turns toward me. And here's the part that made it beautiful. I had brought a second deck, the real one. When there was a pause, I said, "If it's okay, I actually prepared an updated version after reviewing their most recent quarterly report." I plug in my laptop, walk them through accurate data, tailored strategy, clear implementation plan. The room shifts immediately. Client nodding, questions engaging, manager suddenly very attentive. We landed the account. After the meeting, my manager asked Evan why he hadn't validated the data. He mumbled something about collaborating. Manager then turned to me and said, "Next time, you lead the presentation." Since then, Evan hasn't repeated a single one of my ideas. And funny enough, he's been a lot quieter in meetings. Turns out when you let someone take credit long enough, sometimes they'll hang themselves with it.